Hollywood loves a flawless success story. Jennifer Hudson is that story, an EGOT winner who turned unimaginable personal tragedy into triumph. But today, the entertainment world is cracking open, and the names forcing it open, comedian Cat Williams and singer-turned-whistleblower Jaguar Wright, aren't whispering. They're warning. What happens when a superstar known for privacy becomes a headline in their storm? No one has accused Jennifer of wrongdoing. Yet her name now hovers in conversations about hidden power, sealed deals, and unspoken rules. In an industry where perception can outweigh reality, that alone is a threat. To understand why even a spotless reputation can feel exposed, we have to start at the beginning, with the night Jennifer Hudson's life changed forever. On the morning of October 24, 2008, Jennifer Hudson's world changed forever. What began as an ordinary day in Chicago turned into a nightmare when her mother, Darnell Donnerson, her brother, Jason Hudson, and her 7-year-old nephew, Julian King, were found murdered. The news hit like a thunderclap, sudden, unthinkable, and devastating. For a rising star whose voice could fill arenas, there were suddenly no words strong enough to match the silence that followed. But even in that silence, Jennifer's first instinct wasn't anger, it was faith. Instead of retreating from the public eye completely, Jennifer leaned on the church roots that first gave her a stage. Family and community wrapped around her, and she drew strength from scripture and prayer, speaking of a God who could hold grief too heavy for human hands. Reporters noted that she offered forgiveness before the trial even began, a choice that stunned many but revealed the depth of her spiritual core. That spiritual core would soon be tested in the harshest arena imaginable, a murder trial under the world's spotlight. When the case against William Balfour, her former brother-in-law, went to court, Jennifer sat through every single day of testimony. 11 grueling days of forensic details, timelines, and heartbreaking photographs passed before the jury deliberated for 18 hours. Their verdict: guilty on 3 counts of first-degree murder, with a sentence of life without parole. As the foreman read the decision aloud, witnesses described Jennifer quietly holding her sister Julia's hand, a picture of resolve in the face of overwhelming loss. That quiet strength wasn't just for the cameras, it became the template for how she would live and work from that day forward. Even after the conviction, Jennifer's response remained remarkable. She and Julia issued a public statement thanking supporters around the world and, astonishingly, extending prayers to Balfour's family. They expressed hope that one day he would seek forgiveness. This act of compassion was more than grace under pressure. It was a deliberate stand that her tragedy would not define her in bitterness. From that crucible of pain emerged a resilience so powerful it would shape every decision she made in the years to come. The ordeal etched an unshakable lesson into Jennifer's life. Survival in both personal tragedy and Hollywood's high-stakes game requires more than talent. It requires the discipline to protect your peace, the wisdom to choose silence when words can wound, and the courage to face a world eager to sensationalize grief. With that armor forged in heartbreak, Jennifer was ready to step back into the spotlight, not as a contestant chasing fame, but as a force destined to redefine it. When Jennifer Hudson first stepped onto the American Idol stage in 2004, few in the audience realized they were witnessing the birth of one of the most decorated careers in entertainment history. Her powerhouse vocals stunned the judges and electrified viewers. Week after week, she delivered performances that felt like live sermons, soulful, commanding, unforgettable. But then came the shock. Jennifer was voted off the show before the finals. The exit was so unexpected that even Judge Simon Cowell later admitted it was a mistake. Instead of seeing that moment as a door slamming shut, Jennifer treated it as the beginning of a much bigger story. Rather than retreating or chasing quick fame, she went back to work, sharpening her craft and deepening her artistry. Producers and casting directors who had caught glimpses of her Idol performances began calling. Within 2 years, she auditioned for a new musical drama, Dreamgirls, and left the room having changed her life. Her audition was so electric that director Bill Condon reportedly knew within minutes she was their Effie White. This leap from a reality show stage to a major Hollywood film set the tone for what would become a career defined by daring moves and unshakable faith. The result was history-making. Jennifer's film debut didn't just impress critics, it earned her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, a feat almost unheard of for a first-time movie role. She followed that with a Grammy-winning music career, a Tony Award for her work on Broadway's The Color Purple, and an Emmy Award for producing a televised musical. This rare sweep gave her the coveted EGOT status, a distinction achieved by only a handful of performers worldwide. But awards were only part of the victory. What really mattered was how she earned them. Jennifer's success wasn't built on industry connections or flashy gimmicks. It was the product of tireless rehearsal, fearless vocal performances, and a willingness to take on roles that demanded emotional depth. She sang for presidents, headlined world tours, and brought audiences to tears with ballads that blended technical perfection with raw feeling. Her path proved that perseverance could outshine a reality TV loss, and that talent coupled with discipline could rewrite destiny. Yet even as her voice soared across stages and screens, Jennifer never forgot the lesson carved into her life back in 2008. The loss of her family remained an invisible anchor beneath every standing ovation. Friends say that grief made her both humble and fiercely protective of her private world. While cameras captured the glamour, Jennifer carefully chose when and how to share her personal life. That control over her image wasn't vanity, it was survival in an industry where rumors can be weaponized overnight. Which leads to the next layer of her story, the hidden, high-stakes machinery of Hollywood that demands silence. As Hollywood dazzles the world with red carpets, camera flashes, and billion-dollar blockbusters. But behind the awards and applause lies a second, hidden economy, one built on relationships you never see. Agents trade favors, producers broker silent deals, and powerful executives form alliances that can make or break a career without a single headline. It's an environment where a whispered name in the right ear can open doors, or quietly close them forever. For Jennifer Hudson, who came from Chicago's church choirs and community stages, understanding these unwritten rules wasn't optional. It was survival. From the very start of her post-Idol career, Jennifer learned that every public handshake might carry private consequences. A photo taken in the wrong room, a single conversation overheard by the wrong person, these moments can ripple outward in ways most fans never imagine. Industry veterans call it the chessboard. Everyone's a piece, and one wrong move can end the game. Jennifer's team describes her as someone who thinks 3 moves ahead, a habit born from years of seeing how fast reputations can turn. That strategic mindset would prove just as vital to her success as her once-in-a-generation voice. Unlike many stars who chase constant publicity, Jennifer mastered the art of measured visibility. She gives audiences enough to stay inspired, talk show appearances, carefully curated interviews, dazzling performances, but rarely a glimpse of her private life beyond what she controls. This isn't shyness, it's an intentional firewall built brick by brick to keep her personal world safe from Hollywood's rumor mill. But even the strongest walls tremble when outspoken voices start testing their strength. The darker side of this hidden economy isn't just about career politics, it's about power. Stories of exploitation, manipulation, and quiet retaliation surface again and again, only to disappear under settlements or sealed court records. In such a climate, silence becomes a kind of currency. Those who keep quiet are often rewarded. Those who speak risk everything. Jennifer, with her own scars from tragedy, recognized early that discretion wasn't merely polite, it was a career-saving strategy. Yet into this fragile system have stepped 2 people with no interest in quiet deals or unspoken rules. Comedian Cat Williams and singer-turned-truth-teller Jaguar Wright have built reputations on tearing back Hollywood's velvet curtain. Their interviews and live streams cut through the industry's careful choreography, naming names and hinting at secrets most insiders refuse to discuss. Every revelation they make sends a shiver through boardrooms and green rooms alike. And for Jennifer Hudson, who has spent her entire career balancing visibility with absolute caution, the arrival of voices this fearless sets the stage for a new, unpredictable chapter. Much as it rewards talent, Enter Cat Williams, a comedian whose name alone makes Hollywood executives shift in their seats. Known for razor-sharp wit and electrifying stand-up shows, Cat has built more than a comedy career. He's built a reputation as a truth detonator. In interviews and on stage, his jokes double as coded warnings, layered with inside knowledge of the entertainment world's hidden machinery. Fans laugh, but insiders listen carefully, wondering which punchline might be a message meant for them. To understand why Cat's words carry such weight, you have to see how he sees himself. In countless interviews, Cat has described himself not just as a comedian, but as an enforcer on God's side. He talks about being chosen to speak when others stay silent, claiming a spiritual mandate to call out wrongdoing. When Cat walks into a room or steps onto a podcast, he's not just telling stories, he's delivering what he calls truth with consequences. It's a style that keeps fans riveted and leaves powerful figures wondering who he'll name next. That combination of divine mission and unpredictable timing is what makes him so dangerous to Hollywood's status quo. Cat doesn't simply hint at industry secrets, he often foreshadows real headlines. In past interviews, he's dropped cryptic statements that seemed outrageous at the time, but later aligned with actual scandals and arrests. Supporters see these moments as proof of insider knowledge. Critics accuse him of grandstanding. Either way, the pattern is impossible to ignore. When Cat points a finger, people start watching to see what will unfold. And when he finally delivered his now legendary sit-down with sports host Shannon Sharpe, he turned that strategy into a spectacle. That appearance felt less like an interview and more like a verbal chess match. Without a script or forewarning, Cat unleashed a mix of hard truths, personal philosophy, and carefully aimed accusations that lit up social media for weeks. Clips went viral, hashtags trended, and even mainstream outlets scrambled to cover his claims. For many viewers, it felt prophetic, like he was predicting the industry's next earthquakes. But Cat's power doesn't come just from what he says, it comes from how he's built his career to survive the fallout. Unlike most comedians who rely on corporate sponsors or network deals, Cat remains financially and creatively independent. He books his own tours, funds his own projects, and doesn't need Hollywood's gatekeepers to fill arenas. That independence makes him almost untouchable. He can name names without worrying about a studio canceling his next movie or a label pulling his album. It's freedom most entertainers dream of, and Hollywood fears. And he isn't afraid to aim that freedom at the most powerful players in the room. In recent months, Cat has commented cryptically on major entertainment figures, including Sean "Diddy" Combs, calling the mogul's reported quiet release from federal oversight the calm before the storm. Whether these warnings are insight or intuition, they resonate in a climate already buzzing with suspicion. To fans, he sounds like someone reading tomorrow's headlines today. To industry insiders, he sounds like someone holding receipts too dangerous to ignore. All of this creates a chilling question for stars like Jennifer Hudson, who've built spotless careers in that same ecosystem. Even though Jennifer has never been accused of wrongdoing, she has worked alongside countless industry giants over the years. If Cat merely mentions her name in one of his verbal crossovers, the ripple effect could be immediate. In Hollywood's high-speed rumor economy, implication can feel like evidence, and perception can become reality before facts catch up. And when you pair Cat's strategic precision with the next voice in this story, the tension only multiplies. That next voice belongs to Jaguar Wright, an artist who abandoned the industry's polite silence and now wields her personal testimony like a wrecking ball. If Cat is the scalpel, Jaguar is the sledgehammer, and together they're shaking Hollywood's foundations in ways that leave even someone as careful as Jennifer Hudson watching every move. If Cat Williams is the scalpel, precise and calculated, Jaguar Wright is the sledgehammer. Once celebrated as a powerhouse soul singer, she toured with The Roots, shared stages with Jay-Z, and lent her voice to major commercials. But instead of chasing pop stardom, Jaguar walked away from the industry's bright lights. In their place, she chose something far more volatile, telling every story she says the industry doesn't want told. From the moment she went public with those accounts, she became a lightning rod, and she never looked back. Jaguar doesn't speak in vague hints. She delivers names, places, and painfully specific details of alleged exploitation and abuse, stories of handlers, late-night encounters, and power players who, in her words, treat people like chess pieces. Her live streams and interviews have gone viral, not for polish, but for rawness. Supporters see her as a truth-teller. Skeptics call her reckless. Either way, her voice cuts through the industry's carefully scripted image like broken glass. What makes her especially hard to dismiss is the way fragments of her testimony have later lined up with independent reporting and court filings. Unlike many entertainers, Jaguar has no corporate leash, no label advance to repay, no network contract to protect. She earns her living directly from audiences who value authenticity over PR spin. That independence means there's nothing the industry can threaten to take away, a freedom that fuels her fearlessness. When she declares, "They can't cancel me," it's more than bravado, it's a statement of fact. This independence also means she can aim her spotlight anywhere, even toward people who've never been accused of wrongdoing. In recent commentaries, Jaguar has tied her warnings to the broader entertainment ecosystem, speaking about Diddy, Jay-Z, and other top-tier power brokers as symbols of how fame and silence can be traded like currency. She claims that some figures are protected until they're no longer useful, framing each high-profile investigation as part of a larger chess game. To her audience, these are revelations. To Hollywood, they're depth charges waiting to explode. And when those claims intersect with other truth-tellers, the effect multiplies. That's where her narrative begins to overlap with Cat Williams's. While Cat favors carefully measured A's, Jaguar comes with a full-force strike, naming names outright, recounting deeply personal trauma, and insisting that silence is complicity. Together, they form what some insiders describe as a two-front assault on Hollywood's culture of secrecy. One plants the seed, the other shakes the tree. For public figures who've built entire careers on dignity and discretion, that combination is uniquely unnerving. Jennifer Hudson represents exactly the kind of success story Jaguar's words threaten to destabilize. Jennifer has never been linked to wrongdoing, yet she's worked in rooms and on stages with some of the very names Jaguar frequently mentions. In an era when proximity alone can spark suspicion, even an indirect connection can ignite headlines that take on a life of their own. This is how someone with an immaculate record can still find herself pulled into a narrative she never asked to join. Adding to the tension is the intensity of Jaguar's personal testimony. She recounts assaults and manipulations not as distant history, but as wounds still raw. Viewers who might otherwise doubt gossip find themselves transfixed by the emotional weight of her storytelling. It's difficult to dismiss a voice that sounds like it's reliving pain in real time. And as her audience grows, so does the pressure on anyone whose name might be spoken next. For Jennifer, whose public brand is built on faith, perseverance, and elegance, even the possibility of being mentioned alongside these exposés is a risk. Her career thrives on the trust that she embodies triumph over tragedy. If rumors, no matter how unfounded, begin to circulate, they could threaten that carefully protected image faster than any proven scandal. And the danger isn't only what Jaguar says today, it's what she and Cat Williams might choose to reveal tomorrow. The combined force of Jaguar Wright's fearless storytelling and Cat Williams's calculated truth bombs is remapping the power dynamics of the entertainment world. Executives accustomed to controlling narratives now watch live streams and podcasts with unease, never sure whose secrets will surface next. For Jennifer Hudson, who has long relied on privacy as armor, that uncertainty is the real storm cloud on the horizon. And as if those voices weren't enough, a new shock from within the industry, the controversy surrounding Diddy's reported quiet release from federal oversight, has only amplified the stakes for every name in Hollywood's inner circle. In early 2025, entertainment news feeds lit up with a shocker. Reports surfaced that Sean "Diddy" Combs had been quietly released from federal oversight, despite multiple investigations and sealed cases that had dogged him for months. There was no splashy press conference, no big courtroom drama, just a sudden change in legal status that seemed to happen behind closed doors. For many in the public, it looked like a miracle. For Hollywood insiders, it looked like a move in a larger game. That single headline didn't just change Diddy's story, it rattled the entire entertainment industry. Within hours, talk shows, podcasts, and live streams were buzzing. Fans speculated about secret deals and power plays, while industry veterans quietly admitted they'd never seen anything like it. In a world where even minor cases can drag on for years, a clean exit from federal oversight felt less like routine procedure and more like a chess move nobody could fully explain. The mystery of how it happened quickly became bigger than the case itself. And two of the loudest voices dissecting every angle were Cat Williams and Jaguar Wright. Cat wasted no time seizing the moment. On podcasts and comedy stages, he hinted darkly that this is the calm before the storm, framing Diddy's release not as an end, but as a signal that larger, unseen negotiations were in play. In Cat's framing, this wasn't about one man beating charges, it was about a power structure making trades, with lives and reputations as bargaining chips. Each quip and soundbite added fuel to the fire, keeping audiences glued and insiders nervous. Meanwhile, Jaguar Wright doubled down with her own brand of unfiltered urgency. Jaguar called Diddy's quiet legal turn a trade, suggesting that the entertainment world treats people like chess pieces to be sacrificed or protected as needed. She described a culture where silence is rewarded and exposure is punished, where those in control decide who falls and who walks free. To her growing online following, this wasn't gossip. It was confirmation of everything she'd been warning about for years. Together, Cat's calculated jabs and Jaguar's relentless testimony created a perfect storm of speculation. This storm didn't stay contained to Diddy's circle. Very quickly, the conversation widened to everyone who had ever shared stages, studios, or boardrooms with Hollywood's elite. Fans began drawing lines between photos, credits, and award shows, hunting for connections that might suggest hidden alliances. The logic was simple and dangerous. If the system can protect someone like Diddy, who else might it be protecting? That question alone was enough to put even untarnished stars like Jennifer Hudson on people's radar. Jennifer's name surfaces not because of accusations, but because of proximity and stature. Her decades-long career has placed her alongside music executives, producers, and performers of every level, including some now facing heavy scrutiny. The fact that she has built a spotless public record only makes her more intriguing to those eager for a new headline. In the court of public opinion, association can look like implication, no matter the truth. For someone who has relied on careful privacy as a shield, this shifting climate changes the equation. In Hollywood's old playbook, discretion was the ultimate defense. A star could avoid scandal by staying quiet and staying out of the wrong rooms. But as Cat and Jaguar dismantle that culture of secrecy, silence itself becomes suspicious. What once signaled grace can now be spun as complicity. For Jennifer, who has spent years perfecting the art of saying little and letting her work speak, that's a frightening reversal. And the pace of this change means even a single whisper can set off a chain reaction. Social media accelerates everything. A single podcast clip or live stream soundbite can circle the globe before breakfast, leaving publicists scrambling to catch up. By the time facts emerge, the narrative has often hardened into something more permanent. For Jennifer, whose career is built on trust and inspiration, even a baseless rumor could erode the story she's worked decades to protect. That reality pushes her into an impossible choice: keep the walls high or speak out and risk feeding the fire. The truth is that the Hollywood Jennifer entered 2 decades ago no longer exists. The old alliances are cracking. Gatekeepers who once controlled access and information are losing their grip. And in this unstable moment, a single mention from Cat Williams or Jaguar Wright can change a life overnight. For a superstar who has built her career on faith, resilience, and flawless reputation, the rules of survival are being rewritten in real time. Which leads to the next chapter of the story: how proximity, simply sharing stages, events, or friendships, can now become a headline of its own. Jennifer Hudson's life has always been more than music. It is a story of faith forged in tragedy, of a voice that refused to be silenced even when grief threatened to consume everything. From a shocking family loss to the rare glory of EGOT status, she has shown the world how strength and talent can turn pain into purpose. Yet the very discipline that built her career, measured words, private moments, calculated appearances, is now the quality under the microscope. Hollywood in 2025 is not the Hollywood Jennifer entered 2 decades ago. Old alliances are splintering, and the unwritten rules that once rewarded discretion are being rewritten in real time. Voices like Cat Williams and Jaguar Wright are prying open doors that were meant to stay locked, questioning the power structures that decide who thrives and who falls. In that climate, even silence carries meaning, becoming a statement that others can twist, repost, and debate long before the truth is known. For Jennifer, the challenge is no longer only about creating timeless art. It is about guarding the story of her life itself. Every public move, every absence, every carefully chosen word will be read and reread through the lens of speculation. Her triumphs remain unshaken, but the digital storm around her reminds us that perception can spread faster than proof. And so the question lingers, unresolved but unavoidable. Will Jennifer Hudson continue to let her actions and music speak for her, trusting that a spotless record and steadfast faith will outlast rumor? Or will she feel compelled to speak more openly, breaking a silence that has protected her for decades in order to reclaim her own narrative? Either choice carries risk in a world where the next headline can be written in seconds. But perhaps that tension is the very essence of her journey. Because Jennifer's story has never been about easy victories. It is about survival, perseverance, and the courage to stand tall when the ground itself feels unsteady. Whether she remains untouched by the whirlwind or finds herself forced into the center of it, her legacy as an artist and a survivor is already undeniable.